Okay guys, today is the next Bitcoin update. We have seen some major changes in the Bitcoin chart, so it's important to cover them. Now in this video I will cover the weekly chart, the daily and the 4 hours. So you will have the analysis for the upcoming weeks and months, but also should know what happens today or tomorrow. So let's start on the weekly. So here we are looking at this impulse for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the upside. Now, whether this wave 5 is finished or not, I will go over that on the daily and on the 4-hour analysis. But overall said, on the weekly time frame, the probabilities are higher to look for a bigger retracement. Or in other terms, a bear market. So, because after this wave 5, we are looking at an A, B, C or any other corrective structure to the downside, which will be bigger in time. Now, this correction can be pretty brutal, as most commonly it goes between 50 and 60%. So yes, it will be a next bear market. But whether we are already at the beginning of it, or if we still have some upside to come, that is what we will check now on the daily time frame. So on the daily time frame, let me put it here, pretty nice for you. We are looking at this count. This count pretty much determines whether we are looking from a downside right now or whether we all have another all-time high. So here we have then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the main count. I'm going to tell you that this is the main count where we are still looking at a wave 5 to the upside. Now, in this case, we had here our top of our wave 3, looking here at a beginning of a new wave 4. So as long as you don't hit a 618, this scenario is still valid. And most likely you wave 4 of a higher degree, so you yellow wave 4, which raises or stays in the box of the wave 4 of a lower degree, which is your blue wave 4. Now your blue wave 4 here is this range. So your wave 4 of the yellow wave 4 usually stays within that, or it can go a little bit down, lower, or deviate, or whatever you call it, but it shouldn't break this level. So in this case, yes, we are looking for more upside. The bearish scenario then, of course, would be counting this already as a finished impulse here, with simply eliminating this wave 1, right? If we don't have this wave 1, then we already have a finished impulse, because we don't have a triple 1, 2, but a double 1, 2, which we have right here, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, how do we eliminate this yellow wave 1? Simply by counting this as part of the corrective structure and putting U wave 4 of the weekly time frame analysis right here. Now, I will go over that on the 4-hour time frames. Why this case, where we are looking at a finished impulse already, at the moment holds lower probabilities. So, probabilities on the daily time frame remain arguably to look for higher prices. Now, on the 4-hour, if we look at the 4-hour chart now, we are probably, let me keep it on, so we have nice orientation where we are right now. Again, we are looking at a wave 4 from this high, which can be counted as this scenario here, where we have a ABC counting as a wave W, X, and an ABC to the downside. Now, problems with this scenario is your length of your wave X in time. Now, your wave X is very, very short in time compared to your wave W and your wave Y, which is unfolding right now. So this is something to mention, but of course, time can never be something that invalidates a scenario, right? Time is only something that impacts probabilities, but can never invalidate a scenario. So this is simply like this, everything is fine with the scenario, honestly. So the other scenario is then where we count this not as an X right up here, but if we put that X down here to this pivot. In this case, we then have an W, X, A, B, C, where your wave Y could potentially already be finished here. The problem with this scenario then is that your wave Y is very short compared to your wave X and compared to your wave W. So even if we put your wave X down at this high, we preferably see this as a wave A, B, C. This is very important. So in this scenario here, what we see on the chart, we are looking at an impulse to the downside from this high because the wave C needs to be a 5-wave move. So we clearly have here a wave 1, 2, but we are missing the wave 4. We have a wave 4 and a wave 5. So as long as we don't get this retracement, we are looking for more downside. Now, the important thing is the 618, taken from this high to this low, or to every new low we make, unless we don't have this range. So if we hit the 618, this means your wave 4 is invalidated, which means this is an ABC and not an 1, 2, 3, which opens the doors again to this scenario where we have here in W, X, A, B, C, Y. This could be a possibility, or potentially even X and a Z in a triple zigzag, but that is less common. So on the 4-hour time frames, we simply look at the 618 and the retracement. This will determine everything. If we have a wave 4 that does not touch the 618, which looks corrective, then we are looking at one more low, and then we could potentially see the low of the wave 4 and look for higher prices. As your ABC could then be finished, your wave Y could then be finished, your wave 4 in yellow could then be finished. But of course, WXY can be a wave A of a triangle, can be a WXYXZ, so there can be many structures, but probabilities are then higher that this is corrective, and I will go over that now. So on the daily time frame, I mentioned the bearish scenario is that we count this top here as the top of the weekly time frame analysis, wave 5, where we then count a bear market. Now in this case, we then need to count this a wave 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. You already see it, this is not looking like how a multiple 1, 2 scenario should look. Definitely not. And this simply is the case because look at this. Wave 1 here, wave 1 here. This is simply longer in time and in price. This is not how a multiple 1, 2 should look. This one, wave 1, did not take out this low, which is not preferred. And if you count this wave 2 here, and this is a complex structure which is not preferred in a wave 2. Now there are too many arguments that this multiple 1, 2 is not preferred. This is why we likely count this a corrective structure and looking for more upside to take all-time highs. But again, we are looking for more downside on the 4-hour time frame as long as you don't hit the 618. Again, if we hit the 618, we are looking at an ABC to the downside. If we don't look, if we simply make a retracement, take the low, this was a 5-wave move to the downside, which could be an A, B, C, or this could be an A, B, C. In both cases, we are looking at least at a retracement or a complete reversal, second all-time highs. So arguably the most important level to take a look at for today, tomorrow, or whenever the retracement happens is the 618. Now I want to cover some nice target boxes I have here on my chart. This is one target box here, which I have for the wave 5 to the upside. And a target box to the downside is this one here, which I'm looking at to take longs from. I'm going to tell you that already. Because in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it would then be very likely that we hit this target box. And this, in the scenarios, you can see that we at least have an retracement or even a big reversal of taking out all-time highs. So this definitely is a nice target box for me. Now, I hope you liked all of this. If you want me to analyze something, write it down in the comments. I probably will analyze Solana very soon, maybe tomorrow. Let's keep it going. And again, that's it. Bye bye. See you soon.